Around 800 BC, scholars in ancient India were given an almost impossible task. They were responsible for preserving vast libraries of sacred hymns, complex mathematical systems, and deep philosophical ideas. Without paper, without ink, without recordings. Every verse had to live entirely inside the human mind. If memory failed, entire civilizations would forget who they were, but memory didn't fail. For nearly 3,000 years, these scholars transmitted massive bodies of knowledge word for word, generation after generation. Even today, neuroscientists struggle to explain how such precision was possible. Ancient texts, however, reveal a quiet secret. A small creeping plant found near water, described as the herb that sharpens the intellect and anchors memory itself. That plant still exists today. It grows freely in wetlands across the world. You can root it in a simple glass of water on your windowsill. And despite billions spent by pharmaceutical companies, most people have never been taught its name. Welcome to What Nature Hid. Today, we open the record on the plant ancient India used to build a civilization powered by memory. One that modern science now admits performs as well as leading cognitive drugs. In the 6th century AD, the Karaka Samhita classified medicinal herbs by their effects on the human body. Only one category received the highest honor: Medya Rasayana, rejuvenators of intelligence and memory. Within it, texts describe a small plant with delicate white flowers consumed by students before memorizing enormous texts and by monks engaged in deep meditation. Earlier writings from around 800 BC describe how this plant was given specifically to students preparing for examinations. These were not casual recommendations. In a culture where memory preserved civilization itself, mistakes meant the permanent loss of knowledge. The plant they trusted was Bacopa monnieri, and 3,000 years of documented use suggest they chose correctly. What makes ancient Ayurvedic medicine remarkable is its precision. Bacopa was described as working through subtle cognitive channels governing awareness and recall. In 2008, researchers at Thailand's Khon Kaen University uncovered a modern explanation. Bacopa modulates acetylcholinesterase activity in the hippocampus, increasing available acetylcholine, the same mechanism modern memory drugs claim as innovation. Ancient scholars used it to achieve what modern neuroscience still finds extraordinary: verbatim memorization of texts exceeding 100,000 words. But does it hold up today? In 2008, a clinical study in Portland tested adults over 65. Participants who received 300 mg of Bacopa daily showed statistically significant improvements in delayed memory recall. A 2013 meta-analysis of 9 randomized trials confirmed faster reaction times and improved processing speed. Then came the comparison the industry rarely mentions. A 2022 systematic review directly compared Bacopa with donepezil, a leading Alzheimer's drug. Patients receiving Bacopa showed no significant difference in cognitive outcomes compared to those taking the pharmaceutical medication. But the cost difference was enormous. Donepezil costs hundreds of dollars per month. Bacopa costs around $20 or nothing at all if grown at home. So why isn't it prescribed? Because Bacopa cannot be patented. FDA approval would require billion-dollar trials for a plant that grows freely and has been safely used for thousands of years. Without exclusive profit rights, approval never comes. Not because it's unsafe, but because it isn't profitable. Meanwhile, government studies admit pharmaceutical memory drugs delay cognitive decline by only a few weeks over several years, at massive financial cost. Bacopa, when combined with cognitive training, has been shown to improve brain microstructure and neural complexity, something drugs cannot claim. Bacopa doesn't force the brain, it supports it. Its natural compounds reduce oxidative stress, regulate neurotransmitters, and promote neuroplasticity. This is not a chemical hammer. It is a biological toolkit refined by evolution. And here's the part no industry can control. You can grow it yourself. A single $5 cutting can become a lifelong supply. Sunlight, water, time, that's all it needs. Ancient texts called it Brahmi, named after the source of creation itself. They understood memory wasn't just personal. It was how civilizations survived. A plant that powerful doesn't fit a business model built on lifelong prescriptions. That's why you were never told. That's what nature hid. If you want to uncover more forgotten knowledge buried by time and economics, subscribe to What Nature Hid. We're rebuilding the library nature never lost.